retrograde Mercury. So people like, I don't know zodiac stuff. Hey, don't be looking at the. Alright? Don't care about stuff like that. Don't even care about when you plant seeds in the ground, when you harvest the fruit and all that. You don't care about the zodiac. Nah. We got Thuggy Doves. Let me see what's up. We got Thuggy Doves with us. Man, we see him. I'm down here in Chuck Thunder, down here in the cut. The sun came out for a NAGA right now. Just let you know who's in the broadcast with us. You know, that's what's our best protected guy to say show. Especially dealing with this GODBODY situation. Because now we're starting to put everything together. You know, false prophets weren't really talking about certain books that they wanted to reveal to us, that they didn't want to reveal to us. Swift, what's up? All right. Anyways, that's Swift. We give them a little something. The false prophets didn't want us to know. You know, the science of what they discovered, you know, in their hidden teachings. When they're in their lodge, facing their God, who sits in the eastern corner of the lodge with the eye of Ra above their head. Yeah, they praise God. You know what I'm saying? They praise God. At the same time, in the Amaru though, niggas is the only one that had direct connection to the Most High Creator, all source living being. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Drawing us up. We got a wisdom over there. Got the little thugs down there. We got Swift right there. And we got the sun up there peeking through the overcast clouds. And that Mercury retrograde having everybody, you know what I'm saying, going back in the past and thinking about some things. Someone's probably thinking about some things over, right? You know, on a small level and on a huge level. Y'all probably like, what is GODBODY? It's crazy because it's a place in America called Guantanamo. It's called Guantanamo Bay, so they let you know that there's a place that America has an ancient name, GODBODY. What's Buddha name? Wasn't Buddha name GODBODY? Hey. Wasn't Buddha name GODBODY? You know, we don't really deal with gaslighting and projection. It's like, that's just like throw the rock like, whoo, that's gay as shit. You probably just jacked off not too long ago. Looking at your own divine eye jacking off and shit. That's gay. Sitting there with the thugs and the birds. Oh, that's on some high vibrational business right there. Gay is just self-gratification. He's dealing with sexual gratification, that's all. You know, we're dealing with pedophiles over here. You know what I'm saying? We're definitely a pedophile's worst nightmare. Yeah, no, on the east side of things. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? Guantanamo Bay or GODBODY. Amaru, the only land that's connected to the Most High source. We got some crowd. We got a crowd coming over here. Did Trump really blow Bubba? I don't even know. Did he? You watching? I don't know what the hell's going on. But GODBODY, the Most High. We're dealing with, you know what I'm saying, the direct connection to the source, to the only land that had this actual connection to the Most High. Everybody else had gods and lords and so-called saviors, you know. As far as like dealing with a GODBODY, which is America, direct inspiration. You're dealing with niggas. You know what I'm saying? Gotta watch out for the button pushers, you know. When you get to a certain point, gotta watch out for the button pushers, you know. When you get to a certain point, man, you know, men been liking you more than like that whole life and shit. So I can tell a gay motherfucker for real, you know what I'm saying? When I see one, hear one, be around one who's self-gratifying themselves, you know what I'm saying? I'm the bait and the catch at the same damn time. Yeah, we're going into the GODBODY, man. As far as like dealing with GODBODY, you know, as dealing with the chosen ones, you're debating to catch because you got the highest kundalini, so everyone's going to be in a cluster B personality disorder, you know what I'm saying, psychopathic, narcissist, very highly subjective to, you know, sexual things, you know what I'm saying. They base their life off of orgasm, or getting some pussy, or, you know, having sex. And we're right here proving that all spirit is connected to the only land, which is in Amaru, you know. Anything that's connected to the Amaru, but the IAM, the chosen. Those are the ones who are going to inhabit the land. You know, false prophets, they want to speak, but it's not, it's too late now. We didn't get the land, we didn't have no business. We could have did it when we had 1 million people together, but we did not. So, Buddha was from Amaru too. GODBODY, his name is GODBODY. You know what I'm saying? So you don't get to a spiritual enlightenment point if you just continuously busting nuts and having sex. We right here on true Sabbath. Sabbath's about to be next day. That's new moon. That means the energies is aligned up cosmically right now. While most people, most of our Israelite brothers, who are, most of them are faithists, they won't really honor the true Sabbath. They'll still be on the Saturdays, you know, still honoring their gods, you know what I'm saying? Chronos and all that. Who's masking as the Most High. It's a lot of individuals, it's a lot of, you know, cultures who put one name up to try to mask themselves like HAWAH, the true creator, the great I am, you know. But they fail in this cycle. It's a wrap. All you gotta do is take your power back and go ahead and get to being celibate. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where you get everybody going ahead and gaslighting and protecting because they don't have the power or the discipline to be able to do such. When you get higher up in your celibacy, you become hella sexy and shit. At a point where people can't even resist you. Your magnetic attraction, this is spiritual. You know, you think it's about, you know, grooming yourself and taking pictures, you know, grooming yourself and taking pictures, or just, you know, make yourself, you can drop, nah. It's an energy on the inside. It's all about energy, and we all had this energy too. We was really up to a point where it was like, you know, you couldn't get with us. And now, when you get to a settlement point, man, you naturally seduce people and don't even be knowing and shit. You know, you make them gaslight things to you. You make them project their insecurities onto you, their sexual desires onto you. They're gonna do it. They always been doing it. It is all kundalini. It's all creative energy that we have, and we just channel it in a different way, transmute it in a different way, where you just don't be squandering your and busting nuts all the time, and you can truly see, like, yo, Most High is only connected to America. That's why they wanted our land. The Africans wanted our shit. You know, they had to be separated from us, man. They had to be around the wild animals. They were on their 666 mentality. They didn't care how dark a mug is. We copper. You know what I mean? Most High shows that the chosen ones are copper. Anybody? And so, yeah, man. As far as, like, you know, going to the gyms and stuff like that, in this day and age, it's about really refining your kundalini, your sexual energy. This will lead you to a higher spiritual plateau. We have to raise the plateau, really, because it's not going to be no type of unity in no form or fashion with your kundalini low like it is. Because if you go back in the past and think about the Million Man March, we couldn't even get a business together. Off 1 million men, you know what I'm saying? To have a chain of grocery stores. We were too afraid. We were too low in our low chakras. We had 1 million of us though. The army couldn't fuck with us at that point. 1 million niggas in one place at one time. They was really afraid. And meeting up on that land. Yo, so if we couldn't do it then, you know, it's something that was really, really intricate about it. So you have to really fall back and see, like, why we have to really, you know, get back to the source, to the all creator, and give their gods back to them. When you get their gods back to them, I'm talking about, like, all of the shit that's, like, you know, everything that they came up with. You know what I'm saying? I mean, as far as, like, to get you to go to some of their false heavens. It's not really they're not ruling in a sword format right now. They're ruling just with their opinions and walking them to you and cluster B personality disorder in your ass by just chop it up. Do you know Jesus? It's like, what? You know what I'm saying? Now, if you do any type of disagreeing, they can smear campaign you through their cluster B personality disorder through the town, to their place or work or whatever, and to try to get people to think opposite of who you are, try to get people to think wrongfully of you. You know what I'm saying? That's why the gaslighting projection is on at a high display. Instead of people mastering themselves, they want to go out and try to master somebody else. But and the truth is, they're really weak at the will of one who is disciplined. All you gotta do is to discipline yourself, see? Most High is the only one that dealt with us. We already showed the example to the world that we was already united in America. We already was. That's what they hate. That's what they're so mad about. That's why they want our energy so bad. They wish they could be like us. We got most gold medalists, all that shit. I'm talking about the most gold medalists, see. And you gotta understand too, we're at a point in the world where everything, the veil is actually falling. And everybody's starting to see your most high connection. Meaning that, you know, especially women, they choosing up. They looking at niggas like, you know, being faced with all this type of adversity in the world, not having money, not having no land, not having none of that, but still just got yourself and your dignity, you, and just knowing your whole true self in the mortal form and being true to that. Women are actually choosing up. They like that even more. So when they see a man that's like on some more gaslighting projections behind boards and need people to, you know, watch them be just in their low self and shit, you know what I'm saying? To get a rise out of individuals, you know, publicly, women see that. And the more disciplined you are as a man, the more you draw more of those righteous women up. Hence, any of the false kingdoms is gonna fall on themselves anyways, because the men is gonna turn on each other. They become gay, and then before you know it, the women leave and they choose up with the right Kundalini energies and shit. It's like almost being the bait in the trap. You gotta understand, white folks, who are niggas, white folks, man, they really, you know what I'm saying? They're and the ones in America, you know, they have the cluster B personality disorder. They really objectify niggas. They really lust for them. The truth is in the porn. They the only ones with, you know, cockholes, even having a wife. They really want their wife to see them look at a black man's divine eye. The woman's looking at them like, God damn, I know I'm fucked up because I'm a slut. But God damn, you that fucked up? And yeah, they get fucked up. So we have the power to starve them into sex. It's a bait. It's the bait and the catch at the same time. You know, they really look at you. You can damn near null and void the conversation. The police pull you over like a woman and shit. Damn near, because they're about the whole gay, you know, society and shit. So it's like it's a different energy. Everything is opposite when you're dealing with them. When black man is dealing with, you know, white man and shit in the world, because you can see it in the police force. You don't see too many black dudes that's in the police force too tough now. They doing their little funny shit, but you see a lot of so-called immigrants that's doing a lot of shit, and they have this, you know, sick obsession towards niggas, man, in America. Why? Because niggas Kundalini is connected to the Most High, the only one. Everybody else needed lords and saviors and shit. Hey, what's happening? Bless you. Thanks for joining in. I just glad to say hey. But we're just keeping it 100, man. You know what I'm saying? This is another reason why we don't have sex, because it's like you can't even go to the bathroom. It's gay to even go to the bathroom nowadays. If we're talking about gay to them, we can't even go to a stall and have a urinate next to the stall, because you can be gay on the floor, but then you can also walk in the bathroom and follow your object of obsession into the bathroom and actually watch him urinate. Now, a straight guy can't really do that. He can't follow a woman into a bathroom, you know, and he can't just sit there and watch her take a piss and all of that shit. He can't do that. So the ones who are truly gay is not even the ones that can't even hold their own self accountable by even have their own separate bathrooms if they want, you know? Like, nigga, we gay on our bathroom over here in the room, with no straight motherfuckers in our bathroom now. But now they want to share the bathroom with straight individuals. It's kind of like a vampire. You know, if you was real, be real. You know what I mean? So now, as far as like with individuals who celibate, you have to develop another sense of defense if you're celibate in this realm, because it's like almost being approached by like a badass woman being approached by men down the street, just hanging out the window looking at you. White men really do that to niggas, you know what I'm saying? Because they got to a point where they've been exposed to us so long that we give our energy so freely to them that it's like, you know, certain ones, not the down ones, you know what I'm saying, but certain ones, they may have a little extra too because you're dealing with recessiveness, you know. And you know, shit, a lot of coaches like this is like that with us, you know, as far as like dealing with us sexually. You'd be so surprised. They always come on to a nigga. They always try to hit on my ass and shit, you know, and I don't even have to do it. And I've been through things when I was younger, and so I make sure I don't even have to do it. I'm chopping it up with y'all, you know, and I know and understand my kundalini goes a certain way because don't know gay individuals want another gay individual. They want that kundalini going in a straight direction. It's kind of like a form of like trying to make you obsessed like how they are. It's almost like a sickness, you know what I mean? And it is, because the kundalini is going the opposite direction. Your spirit is going to decline. If you're thinking about dick every day, that's going in decline. You're thinking about the physical shit more so. You're not thinking about strengthening your spirit. It's like, yo, you're going for the true low-hanging fruit. And it's not like you're not being able to satisfy a woman, meaning that she's a multi-orgasmic creature. You can do all kind of things to make her have an orgasm without even sticking your divine eye inside of her. Some people don't even want to take the time and the discipline to figure that out with a woman. So when you're dealing with gay them, they'll go to a dude and try to just gaslight slick, nasty shit to the motherfucker. Like, nigga, you already know. But for niggas, we know. But I'm talking about with different races, like, you know, how white folks really are obsessed with niggas, man. It's sexual, you know what I'm saying? And also deal with the life. It's a lot of things. We know the history. So we have to deal with them a certain way. And people know this. True white folks, they know what I'm talking about. And they honest about that shit, you know what I'm saying? And so, you know, this is a way you got to handle yourself in this world. Nowadays, when you're dealing with these type of individuals, and this is a celibate season for us, and this is going to separate the wheat from the tare, for sure. Who's the real and who's the fake? Who's paying the tides? Who got the energy for real? You know what I'm saying? Who's paying the tides every month? That's where it matters at. Because we ain't talking about getting in the room and we giving 10% of what we got. No, we using our light, 10% of our light that the Most High know that we have inside of us. Like, nigga, this is the only way we're gonna unite. Because false kingdoms in heaven, they're falling right now. The only thing we have to do to come together is get celibate, so we'll be able to build virtue. To us, we didn't even know sex is a weapon. They molested us through our seed when we were children. Because why? They do it to their children. I mean, there's a lot of motherfuckers, they do it to their children. Their children is recessively made for the shit. And it's sad to say it like that because I can't adopt a child and teach them a certain way. Their children, they're gonna have to fix them. But they can just look at us as an example of how we heal from being up under their sociopathic cluster B personality disorder complex. They seen how we heal now. Now we're able to get away from a narcissist and have no contact, boycotting certain things, you know what I'm saying? Not having sex with their women right now. And pretty much not at all. If you're gonna have sex with their women, I mean, you gotta understand you're dealing with a lot of jealousy things going on. You know, we're dealing with, you know, the science of women being sluts. That's their lowest self over there. They're damn near fucking animals, you know? And we don't have videotape of niggas in America of our women, you know, fucking farm animals. But they have documentation of them doing it. They actually did it with their own hands. You know, they documented it. All of this shit that we're talking about right now, they documented it with their own hands. We were the people who were just straight connected to the Creator. The Most High used us as a divine sacrifice. And we just did it. Our ancestors did it. And it got into our genes. And so, meaning that one of the spirits that are born into these genes now, we're perfecting the gene now. Instead of making it descend and go down and be more of in our devilish state, we're raising up in our higher states. We're actually being accountable for what we did, what was forced onto us. Some of us, you know, have druids or spirits that are on us that make you do things, that entice you or inspire you to do certain things. You know, that's because these free roaming spirits, they done brought, you know, these humans or whatnot you want to call them, 3/5 of humans, apes, whoever you want to call them, right? They came to America on the plane and boats and all of that, and they came with their familiar spirits. That was enticing. These are familiar spirits, seeing how sexy we were without even trying to be sexy. We just there, and it makes them moist, nipples all hard when they see you. You ain't even trying to be sexy. You know what I'm saying? This is why a lot of niggas is like the white women at first. You know what I'm saying? Because she was so submissive to them when he made her. You know, it's like, damn, is that easy to get some head? I don't know nothing about no head. You know how hard it is for a sister back in the day to get some head from a sister? She wasn't even gonna do no shit like that. She's so high in her chakra, just like you was, but you chose to go down. And when you went down, she came down. And now you know you coming up. And she's gonna come back up too. This is where you gotta leave, get away. And it's not about the sex with like the Caucasian woman and the foreign women. They really do like us. But it's really their men who are sexually gratifying us, man, who really objectify us, who watch us obsessively, who watch us work out, who watch us, you know what I'm saying, quietly, watch the porn, watch how different women respond to us, how we make love, how we don't just do ghetto gag and shit. We make love to a bitch, even if she a hoe. And they still remember the shit. It's like, that's because we was touched by the Most High. We learned how to screw and shit. We learned how to give women multiple orgasms naturally, you know what I'm saying? Whereas we got men now, on their culture, they make machines to have to fuck they do. I'm gonna make a machine too, but it's gonna be a manual machine for your wife. If you had the rotisserie for her ass, you put the cast of your divine eye up on that motherfucking rotisserie her, you know. But we're doing it just for fun, and this is like just to play around, like taking some type of pre-workout. You already want to work out, but if you take a pre-workout, you just having fun with it. She can just be cool with it. But with their culture, they're making actual little sex machines, shit that they can't even do, trying to outdo you, like you John Henry or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta be forced to go and build your tunnel. Like, no. We make love, G. And the more you be celibate, the more you understand that you have a direct connection to the Creator. You have love. They don't have that shit. That's why when a woman get with us, they go crazy because we gave them something that was called love. The source, soul. And our women do the same thing. Our women is up there neck and neck with us, just like us. They went there neck and neck. That's why they wanted to destroy us, because, you know, it's the divine trinity of the family, man, woman, and child. Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. 1, 2, 3 equals 6. 6 is the divine equality. Equality borns wisdom. 6 and 2 equals 8. 8 is build and destroy. He and her, or him, his imperial majesty, her imperial majesty. That's what we need to be focused on, because they're focused on our connection to the Creator and how it shines through our kundalini. This is what makes us creative. Our sexual energy makes us creative and makes us beautiful. And beautiful, not just like the look. It's beautiful as like the bait and the catch to a predator type of shit. Ever since you was a child, you could trigger people's predator instincts when you're a child. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're in public with individuals. Even if you're in an all-black place, if these individuals are not mastered in their sexual gratification and their lifestyle, and they're teaching children, then a child could pick up on that. And sometimes the child can be a predator and to the adult, and because they don't know how to master their genes yet. They have to go through a certain life, you know, through life. Anyhow, though, celibacy is what gets you that power back. You know what I'm saying? That honor, that virtue. I gotta look around and shit, because I got a lot of gay motherfuckers here. You know what I'm saying? I'm the only nigga. It's just when they see me, they be like, and then they be hanging out. I'm not like root for Negro or nothing. I mean, I'm just a nigga. You know what I'm saying? But I shine a certain way. You know, like representing for us and shit. Like we ain't no steal, kill, murder, death, kill type people. You know what I mean? We music, we do music, we sing with the Creator, we got the tones, we dealing with our chakras, all that came from us, you know? And it was just taken around the world, and you know, they used our sciences against us. But now we're gonna show how cold the Most High is. Why I even have to look at none of their books like that. We just use them as references and just be in tune with the breath, the Creator, like right now. Like, you know what I'm saying, getting the download from the etheric, the molecules in the air, motherfucker, that's already got information inside of the molecule that's shaped in the crystal form, that when I breathe in my pyramid, it goes into my body, and I'm able to internalize the information and get downloads like that, get the UV rays like that, all of the shit that I'm connected to in the flesh. But we're showing the power of the spirit, you know, through celibacy, because we tap into our tree a little bit too soon. You know what I'm saying? Men are definitely, white men, and they can do probably a check of this. They're head over heels for niggas, man. You know what I'm saying? Some niggas is probably just entertaining them and shit too. It's like, yo, if those are the niggas who actually are gay, don't have sex with your own motherfuckers. You might as well go ahead and take it out on them. But don't be busting us, because you become weak like them. So you better pimp your own self and have a powerful intellect making progress. You know what I'm saying? Be your own hoe. have your own honor over everything when it comes to that. You know what I'm saying? Because you really can't really, you know, because Most High know everything is real. If dying is real, everything is real. So you're gonna have to learn how to master yourself, and you know if your heart is where it's at. You know, some of us don't like to hurt innocent people. Some of us do. So now, if you know that and understand that you're just your natural kundalini is that way, you're the bait and the catch. Those predators, those pedophiles in their life that got away so long, you'll most likely be the last encounter that they have before, you know, they shut down, before that justice is served. So you got to play your role. Some of us is hella sexy, like smart sexy and intelligent. You know what I'm saying? Witty and shit like that. Not just like the looks, like a dummy. Nah. Niggas ain't like that. We evolve. You know what I'm saying? We're like evolved, spiritual, soulful beings who had only the connection with the Creator on the earth. That's why we didn't have wars on our land. The wars came when there was a false god that came to our land, who sent emissaries across the ocean. He didn't come himself, but he sent mugs. That in turn gave them the idea to build false heavenly kingdoms in their heavenly realms and shit, where all kind of shit can go down, you know. Which is the first false one that would say his name is Anu Hasaj, kind of like Anu or Anunnaki. Like they could be the fallen niggas and shit. But Anu Hasaj was the one who gave everyone their kingdoms all over the world, and they was teaching everyone really with religion, but he couldn't do GODBODY. Why? Because GODBODY was the one that's connected to the Creator, the source. High-ranking angels, which is your ancestors, was guarding GODBODY, so they couldn't get over. They finally got a chance to get over after this long war that took place. And now they're over on airplanes and they're bringing their false spirits and they're doing their little spell work on the moon rituals and keeping you off of the Sabbath and keeping you on their Saturn days and all of this stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I had to keep my game too, looking around over here. You know what I mean? So that's what they've been doing in these last cycles. And this is why it's imperative right now to be celibate, because this is how you continue to usually slay these motherfuckers. Their spirits is they're a low grade, but it's a gang of them. That's why they know how to let them out in certain cities and shit. That's what these false guys do. And it's like I say, it's a war going on, and it's the transitioning of the handing over of power. All we have to do is get our kundalini to the top. And how to turn them chakras is every month when the moon is in your sun sign, that's when you're gonna become the most, you know, horny and shit. So that's when you kind of boom. You'll see you got everything in you. You got feminine and masculine energies in you. It's more than just physical sex. You'll see that, okay. You experience everything. You know what I'm saying? It's everything. Celibacy, you know all your energies, who's projecting their sexual, lustful desires on you, who's putting their false, you'll know all of this. Because if you're around a whole bunch of individuals that are just like you won't be doing that. Chances are you won't be doing it. This is Mercury retrograde. Chances are you won't be doing that. You know what I'm saying? Projecting and gaslighting, you know, doing what the average cluster B personality disorder individual does on a normal daily basis. Some of them is pathological, where they gaslight and project quickly on you. So you will be like, you won't even know that what the hell just happened. But if you peep the situation, you'll see this, and then you'll see what heaven that they on. Basically, it's really 3 resurrections, 7 heavens, but separated into 3 sections off of that's connected to the earth. And so you'll see where they're at. Like, oh, you do shit like this. We already know where you at. You can already tell them anyways, because you're etheric. You're in tune with the nature. Now you're getting information from the elements around you and from the sun and shit like that. And things that are actually helping benefit you, you know. They know that you have direct inspiration. You have the ability to have, they know that the mortal, which encloses the spirit, can get inspiration from the S realm, which is the spirit realm, whether it's from ancestors or motherfuckers that just want to inspire you to do something slick if they see that you low on your shit. But we was connected to our ancestors who were connected to the all IAM, the source. You know, and Nagas, you know, that means nigga means, you know, God. So that means that the false gods that was over the lands in the world were called Nakas or niggas. And the only reason why the came on there because, you know, it's just dealt with the color black, you know what I mean? But we're copper color. But the iron ones, the faith is the true ones that are connected to the soil. So, or the earth, actually, you know what I mean? So basically, when we like when we hear people say nigga, because the only reason why we would before was like, ah, nigga, is because it's like, you're not a nigga. Like, you're not a king like us. So only other kings can be like, what up, my nigga? Even if we mad at each other, like, nigga. You know what I'm saying? But we don't know where these people come from the incubator people or whatnot. You know, remember, they got cluster B personality disorder. They were born in laboratories and in incubators and shit, you know? So they don't know the source of creation. So they don't have no connection. So hence they had to get sent gods and lords to tell them what was right from wrong, because they were fucking their own babies and having sex with their mothers and shit like that. And they didn't know this. So niggas had to come through, and niggas had to come through, like, hey, hold up. You can't be coming around here fucking your own mother, man. Nah. I know you fucked up, but we gotta, if you want to get into the higher heavens, you're gonna have to reset your stuff. At the same time, you're gonna have to reset your diet. You can only eat this and this and this. And the only mother that's referred to as nigga is the one in America, because Africans are not even referred to as nigga. You know what I mean? They say the word nigga so like it's evil, like it hurts us, because they heard the white folks say it to us. They're like, oh, it hurts them. Let's say this. Nigger. It hurts. It's like, it don't matter. We got the heavens. You know what I'm saying? The heavens is ours, and it's gonna be ours for forever. But we gave you a chance to be able to work with the nigger, but you didn't. Which is the true king, the one who's able to walk outside and sit under the UVs and shit. One of these motherfuckers are so afraid of this gun outside, just chilling and spreading aloha, this happiness and shit. They're like, no, we can't have that. No happiness around. We don't want niggas having no happiness, no good vibes. And matter of fact, when they're making music in the mixing board in the studio, we're gonna give them a mixing board console where they gonna have to, we're gonna change the frequency of the music, so where they're bringing in evil entities every time they record. The pan button and shit. Only true artists knew the science of that. That's sound frequency, but niggas knew that though, you know. Niggas knew the science of sound and frequency, you know, and the science of vibration of light, frequency, and how different atoms vibrate off each other to give you that illusion of light that we see here. Only nigga can tell you that. It's like, damn, when you're dreaming, it's like, is there a sun in your dream? But you got light in your dream though. Hey, we can say, if we talk about sexual gratification as being gay, as far as like, I don't know, I like sex. I like sacred energy exchange, the sacred energy. You know, I love giving orgasms to women, but as far as like men, they naturally have a certain attraction towards me. Certain men, like white men and shit. You know what I mean? Hence they like to, you know, gaslight and project their insecurities. You know what I mean? And so they think that death is the end, and death ain't the end, big dog. So as far as like showing the gaslighting of the cluster B personality disorder, you probably got borderline, got triggered. We call that triggered, you know what I mean? Meaning that some type of insecurity happened. You probably was a child, you probably sucking some dick when you was little, and you was like, oh, you know what I mean? It probably happened to you, and you couldn't handle it yourself. So now you got to gaslight and project and push shit on the motherfucker. Well, you probably got your little booty hole fingered or something and don't know how to handle it. You know, that's the sad part about it. And so that's why you got to be able to be by yourself and get celibate and stop jacking off so goddamn much. So you don't be at the lower chakras and heal and get to the heart chakra. You be like, dang, yeah, maybe, you know, it's not really all about sex. It really is in the earth realm. So it's all about physical things. You know what I mean? It's about all these physical things, but it's how to tame yourself. If you can tame yourself, remember, to a pedophile or a one who is a pervert, you're like their best. You would be their best if you're like one who are like very high in their kundalini. You're like their best come up, because they see the innocence of the Most High in you. You know what I mean? And so when they see the innocence of the Most High in you, they can't do nothing but gaslight and project insecurities. It's the history of America. That's why we gotta separate what they call what the FBA say, delineate or whatever. We have to be by ourselves. We have to talk about this by ourselves as niggas. You know what I'm saying? Because we're gonna, if not, we'll still have outside sources, and even we'll be able to pin our own niggas. Like, nigga, you a little bit off because you know you still having sex with yourself. You jacking off. We can tell. You being around niggas who not jacking off and not having sex and not having orgasms, you can tell when somebody's having an orgasm. So that's right there alone is your spiritual, you know, blueprint to seeing how to hold a nigga in check. Or your brother, you know, you ain't got to walk up to him and be like, yo, brother, you know, that's now cypher, you shouldn't be eating that. He's going to know it already because he's dealing with his kundalini, and he's going to know right from wrong. He's dealing with his own judgment within his own being. So he's going to know right and exact. But when you're dealing with other individuals who's coming into our realm and coming to ourselves, who weren't placed in probably the way we were, we're still allowing their false, you know, their spirits, their familiar spirits to come along and have some type of inspiration towards us in our camp. When we're striving to go ahead and get the Kundalini connected to the Creator. This is why niggas got to be together only right now, because we have to have our own familiar spirits, because we've been around so many other people's familiar spirits. They can gaslight and project all the insecurities through their spirit because they're low grades. You have to be at least a 50 grade to even have ascension off of the earth plane. You need to get to a higher plateau, and they're not even at that level. So they're at such a low level of grade that they only can gaslight and project. You know what I mean? And gaslighting and projecting their own insecurities onto someone else because of something that happened to them. So this is why niggas have to be by themselves. We can't allow other niggas to come into our camp right now. We have to talk about what happened in the slave camps or in our POW camps, and what we had to go through not having money, and how our women were separated from. We have to heal like that. We have to apologize to each other like that. We have other individuals in our shit. We want to have that direct connection to the Creator, meaning that we're going to always have a little infiltrator that's going to be in there just trying to gaslight and project insecurities naturally, because he's want to be a part of our organic heaven. Anybody who hate niggas that much, they should be away from niggas. They should never talk to them. Niggas was just like that. We're like the only ones. If we had a home, we would go to it. But realizing our home is everybody's in our home. So you can understand how certain people who have, narcissistic entities pull up on their shores and they never left. In Hawaii, they call them howlies, which is the breathless, soulless being. They call white folks soulless beings, man. And we ain't even have to say the shit. We just like, white folk, damn, man, you gotta be 3/5 of a human. If you call us 3/5 of a human, it might be 8. The remnants of the last cycle that some of these are smart niggas try to make and be a biological weapon to come and try to take over America, the land, to get into our heavens. It's hard to get into our heavens, and they know that. Even on their little flat earth map with all the different worlds, they show the celestial world, which is connected to the so-called niggas in the world that we're on right now. These beings been trying to get into that world for so long. They've been sending different species, but they can't get in through the atmosphere. This is why the atmosphere is going to get sharp right now, because our ancestors are sharpening up the atmosphere. They ain't gonna be no old hole in the ozone layer and no shit like that. Ain't gonna be no little inspirations from these old low wicked motherfuckers and shit. Why? Because the ancestors in them is cleaning up. They getting that's their job. But they've been taken over by millions and millions of angels that overtook them and overran the heavens, who just sought after earthly desires. But basically being savages in pursuit of happiness and coming down to the earth instead of going up. That's where we get the term fallen angels and shit. You know what I mean? So this is the only answer, G. It's more than the food. It's your own Kundalini. Because that's what they're going to attack at the end. They're going to send whatever your way to whatever to think. That's why you got to understand you're the bait and the catch at the same time. So no matter what they send to you, it's going to be their downfall. You know what I mean? Because your Kundalini energy is happening. You have masculine and feminine energy. You can manipulate energy no matter what it is. That's why I say turn the bait and the catch at the same time. So you don't have to take this out. If you is sick, if your Kundalini going opposite direction, and you know what I'm saying, you absolutely can't be celibate, then you find a way. When I say celibate, I'll say you should be able to you should be strong enough to be celibate if you're a nigga and shit. You know what I'm saying? Without busting a nut, you'll be sexually powerful. But if you have to be gay, I would say go and deal with like the Caucasian dog. You know what I'm saying? They won't even be winning. You only have to do. They're already at their lowest of lowest state. But you keep your power up. You can't mate with them and be with them in the heavens and shit, because they can't come to your heavens. You don't got no soulmate. They ain't no soulmate. So if you're gonna do some shit like that, you do that. It's all about the separation of the Kundalini, man. You know what I mean? Peace, love, and the highest all light. I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming and changing up the vibe. But that's what it is. I'm just being honest as far as like with the energy. You know what I mean? Just knowing, understanding it might be a weapon the Most High gave to you. Your nature, you know what I mean, as a sexual nature, not your sexual predatorness. Don't be no sexual predator. You're a magnet. Remember, people offend you. You know what I mean? If you going to try to be private, they try to offend you. You know what I'm saying? So this is where it comes in to be a weapon in a certain point. You don't have to go out and be seductive because you naturally trigger a person. So what you have to do is just control the Kundalini. And people see it. That's the Holy Spirit. They see it on you. You know what I mean? So they know that them energies, the masculine and feminine energies, is moving accordingly and well balanced. And that's a threat. to society, because that means everybody's going to start doing that. And then everybody's going to start honoring each other by doing that. Then virtualness will come back to each other, come back into the game. Then we start seeing the Most High. Then we start feeling our ancestors again. Then we'll see our people that in transition. They have transition. That's where they got that from. In the movies where they show ghosts of people, that's our culture. We know the science of the ghosts. There's humans that can see sargas, who can see and hear spirits. The spirits are just not spirits. Spirits already live a corporeal life, a physical life. These are just neglectful spirits. Some of them was aborted at childbirth or before birth, and they didn't know how to, fetal on to their mother and correctly, so they just got him to gang with other druids and go and terrorize mortals and shit. And this is where the gods, what you grow to be in the light body form, this is their job, is to rid the earth of the jinn and the druids and all these little archons and shit like that. But they will get a chance to rule during a dark season for their kind. But we're always connected to the Creator because we are the true faithers, the most ripest spirits and souls on earth, no matter where we are. That's why I said wherever you walk is holy ground, because Most High with you. He ain't never left your ass. You know what I'm saying? The more you reach up to him, the more it's sending the help to you, no matter where you at. I don't put myself out there, but that's true. So you know what I mean? That's just pretty much how it rolls. You know, so once we start doing this, I guarantee you we're gonna all be together and we're gonna unite. You know, we're not gonna take no BS. And it's not about murder, death, killing nobody. It's just being a unit. They don't want us to be a unit. That's why they want to separate us and gaslight us. You see all these little police stories, and you know, you trying to have a right to travel and you want to argue with these people and Just take the ticket and go. And that's it. They want to apprehend you. They want to see if you got a warrant, and then that's pretty much what they do. They put you in a warehouse or something because you done already signed your rights over. It's about you striving to learn how to get out the government and establish your own. That's what Most High want. You know what I mean? But until then, just get your sexual energy right, because you're the only one that he's been connected to. You as people, the apple of the eye. Alright, I love y'all. Thank you for joining us. You know, even the cluster B personality disordered individual who wanted to gaslight and project and they had nothing else to do. Probably gonna go back and watch some porn, which is sad, man. Watch some nigga porn and, putting yourself lower and lower in the light, which is a sad situation, you know what I mean? But, hey, to each his own. Alright, I love you. Be with y'all the next one. Peace.